What's up, guys? Got a question from Richard P. about open pleas to the bench and what that is. Without a doubt, a vast majority of cases are closed out without going to a jury trial. And during the pretrial stage of the case, the prosecutor and the defense attorney and the client are evaluating the evidence that would be presented if the case did go to trial. And if it's something that's 50-50, usually that's a good trial case. If the evidence leans heavily for the defense, you usually get a pretty good plea offer that you can't turn down. If the evidence is, if there's something illegal in the case, an illegal act by the law enforcement, Fourth Amendment violation, Fifth Amendment violation, then the case might be suppressed or hinge upon a motion to suppress. But what happens when you have a pretty bad case for the defense, something you couldn't put before the jury, but you're not at all happy with the offer the state is giving you? That's the type of case where the state's just asking for way too much, something you're not willing to agree with or for whatever reason can't agree with. So then you're in the conundrum of, I can't take this case to trial because it's just not a winner case and I'm going to lose it. But at the same time, I'm not willing to accept what the state's offering. That's where the open plea comes in. Now, with an open plea, you are presenting yourself to the judge in the case, and you're saying, Your Honor, I'm willing to enter a plea here, and I'm leaving it up to your discretion to sentence me properly. Here's what the state put on the table. I think that's an unreasonable offer. Wanted to put this before the court to see if you could do any better. Now, some judges will entertain the idea and let you know what they're going to do ahead of time, but it's not all the judges, and it's definitely not required. Now, this can be really dangerous because if you don't know how the judge is going to react, or you don't know what the judge's temperament is with regards to sentencing, that's a pretty unwise decision to make. The judge will have the discretion there to sentence you up to the maximum or as low as the minimum. What they won't be able to do is dismiss the charge. It's the state attorney's office that's bringing the charge against you, so they can't blanketly dismiss it unless there's motion to suppress, motion to dismiss, unless they have some grounds. I think the biggest concern with an open plea to the bench is that if you don't know what the judge is going to do. So it'd be a horrible circumstance if you entered an open plea to the judge and the judge sentences you to a longer period of incarceration or a more substantial penalty than what the state attorney's office offered in the first time as a negotiated deal. How do you find that out? There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of variables. The type of judge, the type of crime that's alleged against you, your criminal history, and whether there's any aggravating or mitigating circumstances with regard to your case that either makes it more egregious or less egregious. But a lot of it comes down to knowing the judge and knowing what the judge is going to do to have a ballpark idea on whether they're going to undercut the state or not. A lot of times we'll get a younger prosecutor in county court in the lower levels that doesn't have much experience in the courtroom, and they'll make a ridiculous offer, and you just look at them and you say, I can do better if I walked up to the judge and pled guilty. So that works, but as prosecutors spend more and more time in the courtroom, they get to know their judge and how the judge works. And sometimes there might be policy reasons why the state attorney's office is going to go particularly heavy on a certain type of charge. Maybe it's DUIs and there's a problem with DUI in your particular county, or maybe people were injured in the DUI. Who knows? The key to getting a good result in an open plea is to understand the judge, understand the variables and all the factors that come into play into the judge's decision, and to make sure you have a good idea of what the judge is going to do before you enter the plea. Thanks for the question, Richard. I appreciate it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Add your comments below if you have any more questions, and I'd look forward to answering them. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I've got a website up and running now I'd like you guys to check out. I'll put that in the description below.